Hi, I'm Lanny, and this is Preserving Today. Today I want to show you how I make fermented curry cauliflower. Fermented curry cauliflower is super good with a curry flavor. It's like a cauliflower pickle with the right texture that's not too soft. I take a medium-sized head of cauliflower and I just core that and cut it up into florets the size that I would want to eat. I have about 4 or 5 cloves of garlic, which I peel and slightly smash. I'm going to throw those into the bottom of a quart-size wide mouth canning jar. You can take any curry powder at this point, and I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of curry powder in this video. But in other recipes, I've done it a little more fancy where I add fresh ginger, chili flakes, turmeric powder, cumin, coriander, bay leaves, and I just make my own curry mix. So do that however you like, but the curry powder is really going to dictate the flavor of this recipe, so pick a good one. Once I break up these florets to a good pickle size, I add those all to the jar as well. I'm packing them in and trying to leave enough headspace that I can fit a weight on top. If you've never fermented before, you can watch one of my other videos explaining this. But what our goal is to try to keep these cauliflower florets submerged under a brine while they ferment so that they won't get moldy. And to do that, I need to put a weight in this jar or a spring or something that's going to hold them under the liquid so they don't float to the surface. And that takes space. So I don't want to overfill my canning jar. Next, I'm going to make a brine, and I'm going to use 2 cups of water and 1 tablespoon of pink Himalayan salt. You can use any kind of unprocessed salt. You just don't want to use a salt that has any anti-caking agents added in. Sea salt, Celtic salt, Himalayan pink salt, any of those will work. Mix the salt into the water to form your brine, and once the salt is mostly dissolved, just pour that over the cauliflower. After your cauliflower is covered by the brine, you're going to add some type of weight, and in this video I'm using the Ball Fermentation Lid and Spring Set, which you can find at Walmart or usually sold on Amazon as well. This comes with a stainless steel spring that acts as a weight by creating tension between the lid and the vegetable. As long as your jar is filled enough, it works great. I place that on top of the cauliflower and screw this lid on. The lid does have some holes with a little silicone cover, so it will protect it from insects like fruit flies from getting in, but also let gases escape, as CO2 buildup is part of the fermentation process, and to let that escape will make it sure that your jar does not explode. Because the curry powder is all at the bottom, I needed to kind of mix this around, so I'm shaking my jar a little bit, and I'll do that once or twice a day. And I think the key of good curry cauliflower is to not ferment it for too long. Some ferments, like sauerkraut, are better when they go for a very long time. Cauliflower gets kind of funky, and I think it's better for a shorter amount of time. So I'm only going to do like 5 to 8 days for this, and really it's going to be based on your own preference, just like this is based on mine. So I recommend tasting it often and seeing how it turns out. You'll notice the brine becoming more cloudy and more yellow. You'll notice bubbles forming, just like with other fermented vegetables. And really after 3 days, you can start tasting it and stop it when it has a good texture and flavor. To stop fermentation, just move your curried cauliflower into the refrigerator for storage or eat it. This cauliflower will last a really long time and stored in the fridge, so you don't have to rush to it, but it might be hard to keep your hands off of it. I'm having some this morning with my breakfast: bagel with cream cheese, a couple elk sausages that we made, scrambled eggs from our chickens, and some fermented curried cauliflower. This looks good on a charcuterie board or served with lunch, breakfast, dinner, on a plate of hummus. You really can't go wrong. Have you ever fermented cauliflower before? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. I'm Lanny, and this was Preserving Today.